Good day. Yesterday I posted a video regarding the recall of some peanut butter products, courtesy of SABC. Today I'm putting another one as a follow-up to my yesterday one regarding the same subject. This one gives more details to the one I posted yesterday. Just watch this one because the SABC secured an interview with the South African Consumer Protection Body, certain Mrs. Mabuza. She provided more details around the recall of those products, and they are also mentioning some of the products which they are recalling. So I felt it's important that I share this video. Although I'm on the road, you can see that I'm traveling, but I felt it's important that I share this video with you. As they say, sharing is caring. I care because it's important. I know a lot of you, like me, love peanut butter products. So you might find that you have this kind of products in your cabinet. So it's important that you take them back to wherever you bought them for a full refund, rather than consuming something which can pose serious health risk. So just watch this video and then share it with your friends and family, so that way we are able to protect each other. Thank you, and then take care.
Consumers in possession of various peanut butter brands manufactured by House of Natural Butters are urged to return them to the point of purchase. The National Consumer Commission is conducting a nationwide assessment of South African peanut butters to establish whether they have been affected by aflatoxins, which can cause health complications. More peanut butter brands have been withdrawn from the shelves at Pick n Pay, alongside those sold at Dis-Chem, Clicks, Faithful to Nature and other health shops. The Commission has advised the public to immediately stop consuming these products and return them to the store they bought them from for a full refund, with or without a proof of purchase. Well, for more on this matter, we are joined virtually by the Acting Commissioner at the National Consumer Commission, Tezi Mabuza. Tezi, thank you. Thanks for joining us and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Lynn, and good morning to the viewers.
So I suppose let's tell the story of how we got here. What informed the National Consumer Commission's decision to start recalling these various peanut butter brands?
Firstly, I think there was a complaint from one of the Pick n Pay customers, wherein the no-name brand that they had purchased actually was more darker than what they normally would get. And then when they complained, because Pick n Pay as a retailer, they were obligated to go and check. When they did their assessment or the test, they found that actually they had higher than acceptable levels of the aflatoxins. And that by its own nature, that would mean that if the brand itself, the batch that they tested, means that it had those higher levels, they had to go back and recall the entire batch. But then besides the batch from Pick n Pay, they got that from a manufacturer. And the manufacturer also supplied Lifestyle, which is a Dis-Chem, with their Lifestyle brand, both the crunchy and the smooth. And they also, because they have their own brand, which is Eden brand, and then they are also one of their own distributors. One of their biggest distributors is Wazugols, that also produces their own peanut butter as well. So by that recall, because we had a manufacturer that had a number of other retailers that they were producing, so we had to now recall all those brands.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's look at aflatoxins, because this is serious. I mean, this is not, we laughing and joking about how South Africans love peanut butter, but this is a very serious issue to have higher than needed aflatoxins. I mean, when we talk about aflatoxin, and a very quick search on it will tell you that it can be life-threatening, it can damage the liver, it is genotoxic, meaning it can damage DNA and cause cancer. Now, let's look at this. How is it that these manufacturers are allowed to produce this peanut butter and get it onto shelves anyway before alarm bells are rung?
There was actually a weakness in our supply chain, because at every facility that produces any other food substances which has a tendency to have actually a fungus growth in it, they are obligated in terms of your regulation 1145, to actually have like regular tests with every batch, retain that batch for a year for in case something like this happens. But it's not only the manufacturer as well, also the distributors and the retailers. If they get those batches, they are also obligated to make sure that whatever they put before or they put on their shelves is tested, they are certain, so that consumers' lives are never put into jeopardy like what we are having right now. So we really had a lapse in our value chain, starting from the facilities throughout until consumers got those products.
And this is very worrying. I mean, that in itself is an alarming statement to make, that there's been a lapse in the quality, and hence people have been consuming these products. How long? How long have South Africans been consuming these particular products that have unacceptably high levels of these toxins?
It's worrying us as a commission now, wherein we are taking this endeavor to make sure that we check with other retailers, is that from the manufacturer himself, is that they were not sure. It seems like they started having those problems around May 2023, and then also in December. But then during that time, we were not even notified, let alone even the Department of Health. And it's only now when we had a complaint in January from Pick n Pay that really Pick n Pay took the step and to really come forward and say to us, this is what we're picking up, we want to recall. Because the problem about fast moving goods is that people buy them, sometimes they would keep them in their shelves for a longer period. But then because you don't know who had purchased those goods, that's why now we go on a national drive to ensure that consumers really return those products. But it's really worrying because it started around May.
Yeah, I mean, so we're talking May last year, and it possibly could be longer for people that do consume this, and I imagine that these are not cheap brands, because we're not talking about I mean, we're talking your Dis-Chems, we're talking your Clicks, and then of course there's the no-name brand Pick n Pay. So I mean, this is a range of different brands that have managed to sneak through the system. May I ask you, what's happened to the South African Bureau of Standards? How does this arrive? I mean, surely there are certain points that have to be met. I know that you say that there were problems in this chain, but where is their involvement in all of this?
In terms of the standards now, especially because now we're talking about consumables. This is the labs actually, it's not from the South African Bureau of Standards. I think it's from our environmental health practitioners, because they have that responsibility to go to every facility to make sure that every facility that produces food in terms of that standard, that actually they make sure that it meets all the requirements in terms of safety, in terms of cleanliness and all that. So we dropped the ball right there, because it is a regulation in terms of your food manufacturing.
If we look at peanut butter, and I'm asking this as a genuinely serious question, in terms of peanut butter, do all brands have a certain quantity of these aflatoxins in it?
They are naturally occurring, it's a fungus, so that would mean that it has to be controlled. Starting from, because it comes during production, the storage, the transportation, the storage, and the manufacturing thereof when they are being processed, that has to be closely guarded all the time in relation to the regulation, and regular tests have to be done all the time. So that's why now there is even that regulation from the Department of Health that all our manufacturers have to comply with.
Okay, so I'm reading a report saying literally 100% of peanut butters do have a trace of this. However, it's got to be under a certain level. So when we are talking that the levels were too high in these certain brands, how bad is it?
But at this level, most of them, some of them were like 3 times higher from the tests that we had seen. Hence, we are also calling other suppliers and manufacturers to say that please satisfy us as a commission. Some of them are receiving the letters as we speak right now, wherein we are saying to them, satisfy us that in the past year or so, your batches have been compliant in terms of the acceptability levels that they may contain, and so that now we know that at least the brands that we have, that consumers are having in their shelves or that they are busy consuming, at least those are safe.
So we know that the two biggest brands in South Africa, and it's hands down, we've been listening to people speak about it, the comments that have been coming in and everything, is Black Cat, which is your Tiger Brands, and Yum Yum, which is RCL Foods, that's the Johan Rupert Group from Remgro, they own this one. Let's talk about them. They've put out statements saying that they're fine, that they are complying and everything is fine there. Are you happy and satisfied with the levels that they're at and the studies that have been done on these particular brands?
Yes, we will be happy as soon as we get official results from them that says to the Commission when they get their letters to say that indeed we have tested, these are our results. That's what we need. We want them to be transparent. We know that at times things would go wrong, but that's their responsibility. That if things go wrong, please let us not hide those records. Let South Africans know so that they can also take the precautionary steps to protect themselves.
Are there any immediate symptoms? I mean, if somebody has got, they've been affected by this, obviously this is a dangerous toxin to consume, but are there any sort of things that people should be looking out for if perhaps they have recently had it, they're not feeling well? Is there anything that is immediate they should look out for?
Yes, some, especially people that have that are immunocompromised, they would normally have either your diarrhea and then vomiting as well. And it happens especially with kids, wherein you'd find that besides just being allergic, wherein kids would just present with just diarrhea and so forth. So we would say to consumers, if that happens and you have consumed the product, please make sure that you don't get rid of the product or maybe even the remnants, even that container, because now the problem that we have is the relationship, the causal effect between what you would have produced, what you would have consumed, and the symptoms that you would be displaying, because now there should be that a direct correlation between the product and the symptoms.
I want to question about this, the actual manufacturer of the product. And if I'm not mistaken, the list of all of these products that have been recalled fall under the same producer, and that's the House of Natural Butters. I'm not sure if there's another producer that's included in this. What's been their response? I mean, surely there is a big investigation going on into the House of Natural Butters.
Yes, that's what we wanted to do, because we had a formal discussion with them, because immediately when we have a recall, we would call both the manufacturer and the retailer so that we'd understand what is happening. But if now the information that we get is not coherent, and then we feel that we are not really satisfied, as a commission, we issued an investigation certificate with them because we want to have that evidence that they will be producing to be admissible when we have to really finalize our investigation. From what we had is that there was an issue with the nuts. But then also the other worrying factor is that the facility that they are using to produce the peanut butter, it's a shared facility, it's rented. So that would mean that there would be other producers that are also using this facility. So we don't even know whether after they have actually used the facility, if it was properly cleaned and sanitized so that the fungus would not be of those higher levels when the other suppliers would be coming in to do, or when the other manufacturers would be using that facility. So that is what is really a worrying factor. It's a shared facility, and there was a problem with those nuts.
So just my final question to you is, what other products do the House of Natural Butters produce, and should we be worrying and looking into the other products that they are actually manufacturing? If all of their peanut butter brands have been removed, is this another investigation that's taking place as well into other products that they may manufacture?
For now, we are looking into the peanut butter itself. But then during the investigation, if we pick up that there are other products that are related, that are grain-based, that might have the toxin as well, we will be looking into that, because this has been a serious lapse in terms of judgment, and then in terms of ethics as well. Because now you would expect that somebody that has done something like this, they have to be coming forthright, and then they should have done that a little bit sooner.
Gosh, let's leave it there. Thank you. Thanks for talking to us, Tezi Mabuza, an acting commissioner at the National Consumer Commission, speaking about the withdrawal of peanut butter brands, certain brands that are being recalled. The House of Natural Butters are the manufacturers of this, the no-name Pick n Pay brand, the smooth butter, Eden Smooth Peanut Butter, Eden Crunch Peanut Butter. They have all been found to have high levels of toxins. We've been putting the photos up of those that have been withdrawn. Those are the ones. So please be vigilant. Take them back to the manufacturer, or not the manufacturer, to where you bought it. No proof of purchase is necessary. Take them back. Do not consume them.
There you are. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I thank you for watching up to the end of the video. I really appreciate your support. Please keep on supporting me and subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and the loved ones. And also share this information with everybody in your circle so that we keep ourselves protected at all the times. I really appreciate your support. Thank you again and take care.